if we could just jump right in, if you could just kind of give us like a cliff notes of what your school community is about, like what is money manifestation? Like what is it that you do with hypnotherapy? I mean, you've been in the game a long, long time. So just kind of give us the TLDR on all that.
The TLDR. Okay. Well, basically, when somebody comes into my community, usually they are dealing with some kind of, they're hitting a wall with their income, or, they just haven't been able to do it consistently. They generally come in with, either the need to like just, they're just sort of flatlined maybe, and they want to get to the next level. These are some of the things that, people are working on. And there's a reason why a person, gets to that point. And one of the reasons, I want you to kind of think of it like a thermometer, a thermostat, actually, like in your house, where you've got it set to whatever it is, 70. And when it starts to get, a little above that, thermostat kicks on and it cools everything down. And when it gets a little below that, thermostat kicks on and turns on the heat. And so it's the same thing with your money. Essentially, we generally, a lot of people just kind of have like a set point that feels safe for them in their nervous system to earn. And so when they start to get to a certain point, maybe they hit that six figures for the first time, or maybe it's maybe they hit their first $5,000 month or whatever it is. They will just do whatever to kind of keep it there, and that is it's like the set point, financial. Like a financial set point that kind of kicks in and keeps everything the same. And it does that just really to keep you safe, to keep you in your comfort zone, whether it's good, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. It's like a dangerous feeling to your nervous system, to your subconscious mind, to get for change, to have anything be different. And so that's generally what's going on, is somebody has just kind of reached that set point and they're just not able to break through it. And, a lot of this just kind of goes back to childhood, when we were growing up and we would hear, things like money is the root of all evils, or you're never going to make more than this, or it's hard to make money, or, these kind of money blocks, they get stuck in the subconscious mind, and it just kind of pulls you back down and, keeps you from attaining success. So that's what we do in Money Manifestation Mastery. Is in the first 7 days, we work on the seven most common blocks that people, generally have. I mean, then there's more than those seven, but those are, pretty juicy, and we get a lot of breakthroughs from having people go through that first 7 days. And sometimes, it's interesting because there's a lot of times people will go through it again because they got so much out of it the first time, and they realize, okay, I left a little bit on the table. Let's go. And it's like a little cleanse almost. And once they've done that, they will go to the next steps in my course. I have a 21-day manifesting challenge. And that's where we really start to plant new seeds, because it's really hard. You got to like pull the roots, pull out the weeds. And when you pull out the weeds, then now you can start to plant new seeds. So that's what we do in the 21-day manifesting challenge. Once they've done that, I have a whole plethora of courses that I have created over the last 25 years. It's like insane amount of content. And I'm just going to be honest. I have been in almost all of the manifestation schools. I've spent a little bit of time in there. I've just not seen anybody have the degree of content that I've created over the years. Not saying that's bad or good, just saying, I have created quite a lot. And one of the biggest goals, and I know you did say, I have a hard time being keeping it keeping it concise. But the last thing I'll say is, like, one of the primary goals of a lot of our manifestors. A lot of them are coaches, like life coaches, spiritual coaches, business coaches, manifestation coaches, hypnotherapists, creators. Like I have a lot of artists, people, that are creating, things. And those are the vast majority of the people who come. It works for anybody. I mean, I literally have people that trade on the stock market, and trade crypto and things like that. And, so it can really work for anyone who has a strategy. I don't really get, and I am going to start getting into that with some people, but I don't get as much into the strategy. I get more into just the manifesting and really helping people on that path. So a lot of people are working on their 10K months, and then that I have a whole 6-month program to help take people from wherever they are now to 10K months. And 10K can mean 100K. It's just wherever you are at. That's just happens to be the most popular number people are trying to have a breakthrough in. So that's what we do.
One of the things I wanted to bring up with your community that I find unique is I know you've been doing this for years now, right?
Yeah.
You started on Skool and you decided just one community and you started it with being paid, right?
I did.
And so what was the decision that helped you decide to put it straight to paid rather than having a free community or something?
Honestly, I was a member of another paid community and I saw that working and I thought, well, I mean, I didn't even really consider having a free community. Like it wasn't even part of my awareness that I would want that. So I just went, straight to paid because and we'd only had the one tier, of course, when I very first started. So I just figured, and I will say this, I mean, I invited a few founders in just to, like 20 or so people. I just to make it so that if when I did turn it on to paid, I wanted there to actually be some people in the room. It's like, well, I'm paying for nothing, like I'm paying for so I wanted to make sure. So I got a few founding free members, and a lot of them have actually since become paid members because they realized the value that they're getting and they just wanted to pay me. And so, yeah, I always kind of knew that from the get go that it was just going to be paid. I also felt like, I've been doing this long enough. I sell paid products already. So, what would be to me, like, what would be really the difference between this and any other product, that or service that I provide? I haven't, I mean, I have free things. I have my YouTube channel, I've got my podcast, I've got all of my lead magnets and all those things. So I just kind of figured I didn't really need to do free.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you also have the top 30 inside of like the spirituality category.
Mm-hmm.
I
Number
was
3.
thinking you're number 3 in spirituality. So how have you seen having the Skool community, keeping it active, but also keeping it authentic and real? How's that worked?
I I knew from the get-go, like the very, very first thing that I thought about was I wanted to because I've okay. So I've created a number of Facebook groups. I have probably about 7 Facebook groups. And every single time I've created a Facebook group, it starts off with some engagement, people are really excited about it, and then it just fizzles out. And so I knew that I wanted to create a school that would be much different than that. And so I figured like what was going to be the thing that would benefit them, that would keep them actively engaged with each other. And, I think one of the biggest things that people need to, keep growing is consistency. So that was one of so I would just kind of invent like little ideas on how could I keep people where it's genuinely benefiting them, um, you know, engaging every day. And one of them is that we make an accountability post every day. We make an accountability post in the morning. They tag their buddy. Their buddy cheers them on in the comment. And then at the end of the day, they also comment to let us know, did they do what they said they were going to do at the beginning of the day? And then their buddy also chimes in. So that's 4 engagements for one particular function, for that one particular function. And they love it. They absolutely, and because they make these posts, it actually serves the purpose of what we're doing. Like I mean, you're not going to just manifest money out of the thin air. There are some action steps that you need to take each day, to make that happen. And so I have people taking these actions, like their 3 revenue generating activities each day. And it actually keeps people doing these things because they know, oh, I posted this and my buddy, and some of them have multiple buddies, my buddy's watching me. And you're far more likely to take action on something that you tell somebody that you're going to do than if you just, it's unfortunate where we just tend to keep our word more with other people than we do with ourselves. But it keeps you, it keeps you. So I wanted to do something that was like genuinely beneficial to them, that would, I knew what I was doing. I mean, I knew that was going to create a shit ton of engagement. But, so there was that. The other thing, and again, this is just something that there's many, many benefits to doing this, and that was wins. So we have our wins category because we are all about creating and manifesting our dreams and our goals and our reality. So it started off, that we just would have a wins category. And I explained, and this is true, that what you are grateful for, like the wins category is like you basically acknowledging to yourself, to the universe, to your subconscious mind that I achieved something today. And so I put a challenge out to them. I'm like, I want you to post something good, positive that has happened in your life every single day. I want you to post that in this wins category. So there's another. And of course, every time somebody wins, everybody wants to congratulate them and celebrate them. So, we post wins every single day. And then not only that, but then because it's the money manifestation school, I started feeling like, okay, I don't want them just to post like, I, I've got out of my comfort zone today. This was great.
Right.
I wanted to actually, and that's a breakthrough. That's definitely a breakthrough. So I split that category into 2 categories. I said, okay, now what I want to do, because this is the money manifestation school. So that is the only win that fits in money. I don't care if it's $2.50 or if it's, $250,000 or more. I want you to post a money win every single day. And so now they post a money win. And of course, so what this does, this is like this is something that actually helps them. It helps the community because they can see that other people are winning rather than just being shy about it and keeping that to themselves. People are winning all day long and they're just not even aware of it because they're not looking. And when you look for it, your reticular activating system is a part of your brain that shows you more. Because there's like, you know, uh, hundreds of thousands of bits of data that are constantly that you're not aware of, that are always around you, always there. But we are only seeing a fraction of things. We're only like focused on a fraction of those things. So when we start to like post these wins and we start to look for wins, we're literally now going to start to see more wins because that's what we're focused on. And, you get what you focus on. At the end of the day, that's what law of attraction is. You get what you predominantly think about. So if you're thinking, oh, I need to post a win, I need to post a win, you're looking for ways to win. And it's literally rewiring your brain to find more wins. And as a result, more people are winning. So, of course, that creates a lot of engagement.
So you're trying to, rewire a lot of these your members' brains. I'm
Yep.
sure a lot of them are coming to you with a lot of negativity.
Oh, yeah.
Like how do you protect your own energy just as a community owner when you have hundreds of people coming to you with their problems?
Well, I do that in the community guidelines. So this is a positive, like it's all about, and it's not like fake positivity, it's real positivity. I ask people to reframe what they are dealing with as I am looking for the answer to this, rather than um, just being really negative and downtrodden. And I just don't even allow that in the community. I just only want to have people focus on what is working and what they are working toward, rather than what they're trying to get away from. And so I just don't allow the negativity at all. It's just in the community guidelines, because no one wants to come in a community and say, oh, I had to pay this bad bill and I lost, and look, we're all dealing with stuff. If you have something that's going on with you that you really, really need, a little bit more support on turning around that feeling, that negativity, just reach out to me personally and let me know what you're dealing with. And I will help you from behind the scenes. But I don't want that kind of energy, in the community. So we keep it really positive. And, the thing is how I protect my energy is I'm just not judgmental about, when I say, I don't allow the negativity, I know that everybody is dealing. Look, I deal with my own stuff, Uh, it, uh, literally, I will have days where I'm winning. I'm, moving up the leaderboard, and as close as I am to number 5, I literally do have days where I feel like I'm never going to get another member. Like, that freaking green button, that is such a dopamine hit. And when you don't have it for 24 hours, it is painful. It is painful. You get so much. But then, of course, I celebrate every single one of those. I've got my I Win the Skool Games song, and I have about 10 of them, and they're going all day long. But as soon as that green button happens, I stand up, I dance, I play my Win the Skool Game song. If I find myself in a negative mood or whatever, I just get up and I dance it off, and I start singing, and I just act like a crazy person for a little while, and I just shake it off. And so that's kind of how I approach it with anybody in the community. But hope that kind of answered your question. I just don't really allow the negativity in there, because it's just it doesn't help anybody.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I did have to kick somebody out once. They just weren't ready for it. They just were not you have to have a little, I can't help everyone. And that's the other thing you have to realize is I can't help everyone.
If we can kind of move to so you're going for the Skool Games.
Yes.
I saw that you've been doing YouTube for 18 years.
Yeah.
Which is wild. That's when it basically first started.
Yeah.
Is that your main traffic source right now?
It's not. And when it comes to now the traffic in school, now we can actually see where things are coming from. I think it has a potential to be a big traffic source. Listen, I have my own lack of consistency, and I feel like if I was more consistent on YouTube, that would definitely be my main traffic source. And Jenna what helped me the other day, to realize I need to go live every day. And I feel like once I do that, things are gonna kind of pick up. But it is like I'm a little bit of a control freak. So my main traffic source has actually been, I've been being in business for 25 years. I've developed a pretty big email list. Now, not everybody on my email list gets it and sees themselves as ready to step into this, but that's actually been for me. And that's one of the things, like, unfortunately, I can't be an inspiration to the businesses that are like literally just starting out as a business owner, because I am kind of tapping into a different resource. I mean, I am a little fortunate that I did have a business kind of going, but I mean, I'm working every bit as hard, as like it's been a dogfight getting to this this point. But yeah, I would say my main traffic source is, I had my Facebook ads like working, and then all of a sudden one day they didn't, so I kind of like trying to regroup and trying to figure that out. I have an idea right now to do a lead magnet and, like have a step between Facebook and going directly to Skool, get people into a mailing list, talk to them about their money blocks, and then, advance those specific people into Skool. So I think that would, would really work, because I do know how to create a damn good lead magnet and opt in. Like, that is definitely something I can do. And then it's just a matter of like getting those people to recognize, okay, this is your next step.
So how are you going to celebrate with your community when you win Skool Games?
We were literally just talking about that yesterday. So I've been trickling this to a few people at a time. I haven't really been like, telling, like, I haven't been screaming to the top of the mountains about this yet in my community. Been just feeling people out, seeing how they felt about it. Yesterday was the first time that I really shared it on our Wednesday call. And so I asked him, I was like, what should we do because this is not my win, this is our win as a community. Like, I can't do this by myself. You guys are helping every step of the way. So what do you want to do? And they came up with answers like, well, we should all go to LA and celebrate with you. I'm like, well, I'm not sure about that unless I because I don't know if I can, fly everybody out there. That's a little bit of a high.
Well, I mean, you could do a whole retreat and have people like buy tickets for your retreat and stuff like that, so that it's not on you to have a celebration, but if they choose that they want to do a celebration, you just kind of organized it,
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so like a retreat in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I mean, you obviously have a pretty engaged community. I mean, it's not easy to be a star community owner.
Mm-mm.
That's
a mindset, Eric.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. Thank you for like acknowledging that, it is a thing. But yeah, I don't want to say it like it's not easy, but it is a thing. I appreciate that. It was crazy that I feel like I'm a success story. Like, I really kind of feel like this, when I win, it's like all the stars really lined up, like all like getting the star in the fire on the same day was kind of cool. But how I want to celebrate, I really, obviously, I mean, I want to figure out something. How do you think I should sell? Like, what do other community owners do? Because I'm definitely am looking. I'm like trying to figure out what would be amazing and make everybody feel like, included and celebratory and all of that.
So what I would say from what I've seen is that there's some community owners that do like a special live call, and that make it like really fun. There's others that don't do anything. And I'm like, okay, I think the best answer in this situation is like, your people, And your people will come up with ideas like, hey, we should go to LA with you, which can inspire something like maybe we'll do in-person retreats. And it doesn't have to be about the games. It could be like even further down the line in a different location too. But I think that that's where I love really something about Skool is where like when people ask Sam questions, Sam's not going to necessarily give him an answer. He's going to ask you, what do you think you should do? Because there's this creativity and there's a beauty to allowing people to just be creative, figure out what they think should happen, and then they act on it. And then you get to know how that works and how that plays out. Because then everything, if they were kind of like giving advice, then it would all turn into being the same. And that's not fun,
Right.
when it's all cookie cutter kind of stuff. So I think that I've seen you, I've talked to you, I've also watched some of the stuff in your community, like how they're interacting. I think that you're going to come up with something that's going to be just as fun for them as it is going to be for you. And
Yeah.
I think part of that is also just you taking the time to connect with them. Because you could do a big retreat, or you could just do a live call where you bring everybody on stage and you talk to all of them and just share your experiences, your wins. And I think this is something Eric talks about, but doing a podcast with your community members
Mm,
to
mm,
discuss their wins. It's such a
yeah.
beautiful gift that you can do with them is discussing their wins and letting them see where they came from and where they are now. So
Yeah.
those are fun things too.
Yeah. I have been interviewing I have a couple interviews right now that I need to just get edited, and then those will go on either my podcast, my YouTube channel, or both. Um, and yeah, and I definitely want to do a few more because there's more wins, and so I want to just keep celebrating the people that are doing it. We have one right now. So, one of like the goals, big prominent goals in the community is to do the 10K months challenge, and to have. So we've had a few that have had their first, and one just recently had his second 10K month. Were not earning 10K before they did this challenge, and we only started this in December. And so, and I got to tell you, like before I created this, like it wasn't like I knew for a fact that you have to really, have a mindset, to be able to do that, to be able to break through. And, so I had my own like feelings of like, what if they don't? What if I don't get anybody to, to have a 10K month, right? And I mean, I'd done it before with private clients. I've actually had one of my private clients have 100K month as a result of our work together. But it was scary when I put this out as a group. And so it was just like so great, so gratifying to actually see this working for people. And then, of course, as it's working for several people, it starts to like break that little barrier in people's mind. That paradigm shift starts to happen. And when people like have that little shift, they see other people doing it, then they get creative. They realize how they could do it. And in so many cases, it could just be so easy. They just need to like raise their prices a little bit, or they just need one more client, or, just, one more piece of the puzzle. And it's really not, it's not rocket science, to do this. And I do make them find a model of success out there that's already doing it in their category. And so that they know that they see it's possible for them, they study them, they research them, they find out that it is possible. So it's not like they're just going to pull this from the sky without any idea how to do it. Like that's part of the challenge is they've got to do the pre-work, to make sure that this is, I want to know that it's actually possible for them before they, I want them to know that it's possible for them before they actually do it. So yeah, and we have one that I'm just pulling for her. I think she's actually going to do it this month. I mean, she's halfway there. We're at like a little over halfway through the month, so she's halfway there this month. And I just know she's going to break through and have her first 10K month, and it's just going to be amazing. Not her first ever. She like a couple years ago she had hit 20K, but then her business kind of like just got complacent and just, she just kind of forgot how to do it. She kind of like you had that moment, where you get there and then everything just kind of falls apart and she wasn't able to sustain it. And so she just kind of like let it go. And when she came into the community, her income was about 2,000 a month, 1,600 to like 2,000. And then, she's now halfway there, halfway to 10 right now. So she's already making more. And we've had others like triple. One of them came in only doing like 800. She was about to close her hypnotherapy studio. They were literally going to close because she was only doing like 800. And all of a sudden, I mean, you see her, Crystalline. She just every day, new client, new client, new client. And so we had our interview, and I'm like, you've got to be doing like 10K now. She's like, well, that's the thing. And Marge told me that you're going to, um, have a talk with me about this, but I'm not really charging that much. I'm like, okay, yeah, we definitely need to have a conversation about that. But even with that, she's doing like 3,500 a month, up from 800, and nearly about to close the thing. So, I mean, the results are like off the charts, and I'm just so proud of everybody, and I'm proud of myself for doing this. I almost didn't do it. The day that I launched this, the day that I said, okay, we're doing this, I launched it, I just freaking wanted to puke.
That's actually really encouraging to hear, especially from someone like you, that everybody goes through this. And I just appreciate you taking me through all that earlier. Like, I have zero experience with manifestation. I don't know. I've heard the term. I don't know anything about it. And
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot of people, especially community owners, who have those similar feelings that I had. And so
Yeah.
I think what you teach is really awesome. And what are you charging right now? $9 a month but it's about to go up, right?
Right now, actually, I think we're going to leave it at $9. We're just
Okay.
going to leave it at $9 for the entry point, and who knows? We may change it at some point, but right now, this seems to be. I want as many people in the community as possible. I personally have a goal of 1,000 manifestors by the end of 2026 and 500 midway through. And we hit 265 today so far. So I feel like I'm on a pretty good upward trajectory there. So I feel like until maybe we hit one of those milestones, I think I'm going to keep it affordable for everyone. And there's different levels, obviously, once you step inside, but it's enough to give everybody a chance. Like, it's affordable for like literally anybody.
Yeah, so you have tier 1 is the $9, and you have like your next tier, and now you have the VIP tier. One of the
Hmm.
things I wanna jump back to real quick, as we finish up is if you were to, because 'cause you've been doing this a long time and you've seen different business models. If you were going to tell somebody that that hasn't chosen doing an online community for their business, what's the difference, or what is the thing that made you realize, "Oh, man, online community is the way to take my business and how I wanna run things," versus any of the other conventional ways that you've seen over the years?
There's just something about having the community that's number one. I mean, just like having the community support. I think that in my particular, and I think in any business model, when you're able to see other people winning, and it just helps you to succeed. And I think overall, it was the fact that I could do everything that I ever wanted to do here on Skool, like all the parts. I started a membership program And I had to, things are a little bit different today, but I mean, it took 2 years to build this, membership program. And then even with that, still had to maintain the software with an expensive developer and all of that stuff. And, and so, since then, I've created all these courses, and I've also tried to create community over on Facebook, and I've tried to go live over here on, Zoom or YouTube or whatever. And so with Skool, I just fell in love with Skool because it brings it all together in one place. Literally, all I had to do was just sign up and ask people to join. Everything is already there. It's super, super easy to create a course. And a course, what's interesting when you come here, you don't realize like a course, it's not necessarily just like your content. It could be anything. Like the sky is the limit and what you can do with this. It levels the playing field for everybody. Every single person can come here and they can succeed and they can win. I also like the way that it's gamified. I mean that like you know when people have their fires, I celebrate those people. And I know I'm probably not totally answering your question. Because like what it was for me was just that it brought everything together easily in one place. I don't have to think about any of the technical aspect of it, and and then also just having the community of all the other schools and being able to like go in other schools and get support, network. There's a lot of schools out there that are like the picks and shovels, schools. Like yours is actually, yours teaches you everything that you need to know on how to start your school. The classified ads, school. It's like, wow, there's all these supporting schools out there. There's like everything you need here to succeed and grow a business. And so I love it. And that'll probably be a next step for me. Once I win Skool Games and I have social proof that I did it. Oh, literally, I just got a new something. Somebody upgraded or something.
Ka-ching.
That's awesome.
Cha-ching.
Nice. Love that.
I love it. Like it's mid-podcast, mid-conversation.
That's awesome.
So like I am going to be an ambassador. Like I'm like, this is my home. Like I'm here forever. I love, love, love this place. I'm going to live and die here. I'm never going anywhere again. I mean, this is just, my favorite place on earth.
I really appreciate you taking the time to share all of this with us. And it'll be fun to have the podcast come out and then see where you're at then. And ultimately, that you're headed for the games. And so it'll be even fun to go and watch the Skool Games recording and see you inside the Skool Games recording as well. So
yeah, and they'll be able to see like how I really like just you can feel my energy, right? You can feel that like, there's a quality of energy that you have to assume to do this kind of thing. I mean, it's not, it's not it's not something you got to be very, very, very intentional about it, I believe. I mean, unless, I don't know, maybe there are people out there that aren't as intentional about it, but I knew for me, like, look, this is, I'm all in, I'm going to make this happen. And, yeah.
Well, we'll put the link to your money manifestation mastery. I said that pretty good, didn't I?
You did.
We'll put that
That's
link
perfect.
in the description of the podcast. Oh, God, this has been so helpful. I mean, it's a really great price for what you're doing. I just encourage everybody to check it out.
Thank you.
Yay! Definitely come check us out. And, also, yeah, for the easy, link is 7daymanifest.com. I just went ahead and got that, domain, so 7daymanifest.com. All right, bye. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it.